Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev warned that if any British soldiers were seen training troops in Ukraine, they would be legitimate targets for Russian forces. But now there has been a statement from Rishi Sunak clarifying that what Britain plans to do.
Yes. On that, Rishi Sunak stated that there are no immediate plans to deploy military instructors to Ukraine. Well, the British Prime Minister rode back from comments from his Defence Minister Grant Shapps, who earlier suggested that they would carry out training in the war-hit country.
Now, to date, Britain and its allies have avoided a formal military presence in Ukraine to reduce the risk of a direct conflict with Russia. Defence Minister Grant Shapps said in an interview with the Sunday Telegraph newspaper that he wanted to deploy military instructors to Ukraine in addition to training Ukrainian armed forces in Britain or other Western countries.
Absolutely, and this just took place yesterday on Sunday. Remember, Grant Shapps was appointed to the role last month, hours after that interview was published. Sunak said that there was no immediate plans to send British troops to Ukraine.
Now, the British Prime Minister said, and I'm quoting here, what the Defence Secretary was saying was that it might well be possible one day in the future for us to do some of that training in Ukraine. But Sunak added that that's something for the long term, not the here and now. Now, there are no British soldiers that will be sent to fight in the current conflict. The UK Prime Minister has definitely cleared his stance on this. He doesn't, after hearing those kind of remarks coming in from Dmitry Medvedev.
Absolutely, Shiva. Now, Britain has provided 5-week military training courses to around 20,000 Ukrainians over the past year and intends to train a similar number going forward.
Now, some experts view the Russia-Ukraine war as a manifestation of the renewed geopolitical rivalry between major world powers. Analysts say Moscow is seeking to alter the Western-led system prevailing since the end of the Cold War. Western allies say that the war has broken the entire security architecture built patiently on the European continent over many decades.
A 31-nation NATO alliance says that it is doing everything possible to avert a war similar to the one that ravaged Europe 80 years ago. And despite the US and its allies' continued ambitious efforts to bolster the Ukrainians, well, it looks like, Shivin, that there are no signs of an end game in the war.
Definitely not. The Russia-Ukraine conflict seems destined to enter an even more complicated phase here on up.